And we are back. Couch Company Podcast. I'm John. With me as always, Tyler.
Sup, dude?
What's up?
Not much.
Okay.
That's all I got.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
One of the cool kids.
Yeah. Just picture me wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, I can do that. I've seen you in sunglasses before.
I do sunglasses. I don't do hats or bandanas.
What about armbands?
What kind of armband are we talking?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like the refs in soccer, they wear armbands.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, I don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like just
wristbands?
generally speaking, armbands, not acceptable.
Why?
I don't know.
There's more instances of fine armbands than bad armbands.
I guess, but the bad ones just ruin it for the rest of us.
I don't know. You can say that about anything. You can say that about anything.
Yeah, every movie.
Oh, the color you write is ruined for the rest of us. No, it's not.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
It's just a color.
All right.
It's just an armband.
It's just a swastika. It's fine.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
It could have been whatever people were thinking.
What I'm
now
saying
you
is,
put a face to the name.
Yeah. I'll probably delete this whole thing. No, what I'm saying is armbands are usually used like in movies where it's like a fictional empire or tyrannical government or something. You always have those armbands as like...
Yeah, okay, fair. But also anyone with an English accent is a villain. Like, I mean, we can play this game all day.
Okay.
Anyone with a cat is a supervillain.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, that's not true. It's just generalization.
It's just a thing. Yeah, well, we're all about
It's almost like
here at the Couch Company.
movies give things a bad name.
It's almost like, yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, my argument was sometimes people do such bad things that it just ruins it for, like, how many Adolfs do you know?
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
know what I mean?
That's fair.
Actually, there are probably a ton. Who knows?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There was like I read this article. Someone named their kid Adolf, and it didn't go down well. I don't think it's illegal, but it's like you're setting that kid up for failure.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Anyways, cheery opening.
I don't know why
subject,
that started. What did I say?
Because you're filthy mind. I just said armband. You took that to
it's a negative mind. It's not a filthy mind. That's a filthy mind too. But it's a negative, generally speaking.
It's a negative mind. Armbands are innocent. They're just bands that go around your arm.
That's how it starts.
Okay,
dude,
sure.
If somebody walks
the
up to me...
armbands are the problem. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying
that was the big problem in the 20th century?
Sunglasses, cool. Hats, not for me, but cool. Bandanas, again, not for me. Tough, maybe a little cool.
I don't think bandanas are cool at all.
You don't think like a biker wearing a bandana
No,
is
I think they
like...
look stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll say that to their face.
Boy Meets World,
as long as I'm
which
not
you
there.
never watched, right? Because you're too young for it.
I'm
but
27.
They taught me that two guys can't both be wearing bandanas. So it's one of those, like, if you're both out...
What about a biker group?
Again, it's... I think, like, if you look at different bikers...
Would have called them a gang, but...
Group, yeah.
Biker group
Cult.
is more socially acceptable.
If you look at them, you start to notice, oh, this guy is wearing a bandana across his whole head. And this one is wearing a bandana, but it's like not... covering the whole head. It's more of just like they kind of like roll it into
like a headband.
They fold it, and then they put it on.
Not to be mistaken with an armband, which is unacceptable.
Exactly. No one does that.
You'll never see a bandana around a biker's arm.
Some
That's
do like
crazy.
a babushka. Yeah. Or you wear a bandana, but then you have a hat over top of it, so it's acceptable. Cause it's
no,
a
I
bit
think
different.
that there are definitely people that wear the bandana the same way. In the same group.
I don't know, man.
100%.
I don't know.
I would cheeseburger you that. Yeah, let's go down to your local bar.
Let's go find a
local biker group.
Biker gang
gathering.
Bar. Are we allowed in there? I don't think so, right? Isn't that a whole thing? It's like
I'll do it.
I won't.
Why?
Because I don't want beat.
Well, they're not going to beat you up. You think they're going to beat you up just because you walk in to a...
If I'm wearing an armband, probably.
Okay, well, there's a simple solution to that.
Don't wear the armband. I know.
Yes.
I don't know where we're going with this.
I don't know either.
I just wanted to say what's up.
I wanted to point out the fact that anything I say, you just take to the nth degree of negativity, and it's quite depressing.
I'm sorry, it's just been a week. Today was my first 3 o'clock Friday, though.
So you're saying?
Yeah, so I got out early, which was nice.
I played a game of League today, 2 games of League.
Oh, yeah?
First game, my support AFK'd. We lost after 25 minutes, and then I queued up again because I was really pissed.
Yep.
And then I lost. I went like 0-6.
How long did that take you to lose twice?
An hour.
Okay, so it's not...
I could have got like 10 games of Tekken in. Except I could have lost 10 games of Tekken, so it could be worse.
Yeah, but you can recover that pretty quickly. 10 games of Tekken isn't going to like...
Yeah, but that's worse for my mental.
You think? If
Losing 10 games in a row of Tekken versus 2 games
10
of League
quickly, then just knowing. Like,
don't get me wrong, I'm furious right now
Yeah.
about losing 2 games of League, and it feels terrible, and it might be one of the worst games to lose in. It probably is, but 10 in a row, dude.
Okay, so it takes you an hour to lose 2 games of League. At what point of that game did you realize, hey, we don't have this? You see where I'm getting? Like where I'm
Yeah,
going
like
with
10,
that?
maybe 10 minutes in.
10 minutes in.
Wasn't coming back. He said he was coming back. He didn't.
Yeah.
Much like my father.
Okay.
And should have known. Like,
Yeah.
fool me once.
Yeah.
Something.
So all the stories about your dad up to this point have been just
fabricated.
just what you wanted to do.
Nah,
he's actually in a biker bar somewhere.
Nah, he's not.
Yeah.
He'd never be a bandana guy. He's too cool for that.
What if it's a Rangers bandana?
No, not even that.
Really?
That's dumb.
Man.
It's just dumb,
All
dude.
right.
Just wear a hat. Just wear sunglasses. Wear an arm bracelet.
What's the Rangers logo? Just an R?
No, it's like a crest. It's like a square. It has Rangers diagonal. I'm actually curious.
Actually, I know.
You know what it
I
is?
do know what you're talking about.
Do you like the design of it? Give me a 0 to 10. I'm going to show you. So get rid of all your presuppositions.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I am now looking up the Rangers emblem.
So here's the problem. Are we looking at it purely in a vacuum, or am I looking at it within the context of
No, just vacuum.
Here is a designed jersey. Okay, sure. Is this a redesign?
Do you want
like
the jersey or do you want just the emblem?
I'll
show you the emblem first.
Yeah, give me the...
Okay, here we go. I'm showing him the emblem.
Taking a look at it. You can describe it out. So it's a crest. I hate it. That's terrible.
What?
That is terrible.
Why? All right, talk me through it.
Gosh.
Talk me through why it sucks.
What is it? Like what?
It's a crest.
It's a crest, but it looks like somebody went to like Burger King and got one of those like crowns you get from Burger King and just smashed it down. Or it even looks like it's like a box being opened with New York underlined and then Rangers, but like Rangers is like right aligned to it. Like that's terrible, dude. That's awful.
Okay. Now I'm going to
really
show you
bad.
the jersey.
That is not, so to be fair, not the logo I was thinking of.
Yeah. No.
So I thought it was going to be...
well, there's a couple different ones. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find
No, you're good. You're good.
There's one that's like the Statue of Liberty. All right, here we go. Here's the Rangers jersey.
Right. Okay, so that is actually what I was thinking of. So it just has like the Rangers down the front.
Yeah.
And it's still poorly typeset, weird lettering.
Okay, here's what you have to consider, okay? The New York Rangers are one of the original 6 teams.
Yeah.
So this was designed in the early 20th century. Maybe that's... I don't even know what that is. That's a Winter Classic.
This is a redesigned...
But it's the same crest.
Same crest, but this... So whenever...
So you like that more?
Absolutely.
That's insane. It's too busy. That's way too busy.
It's more modern.
That's way too busy, though.
Yeah, but...
You got a torch. You got letters all over the place. This is Rangers.
You got to think distance.
This is Rangers.
Maybe. Hopefully you don't have dyslexia. That's
not my problem.
That is the most unfriendly positioning of letters for a dyslexic person.
Good. We're getting into the other team's head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
You think about
they're
that
too
one?
busy looking at the letters.
You like that?
Like, who are we playing again? Yeah.
Red, white, and blue.
Sure.
Sounds a little patriotic.
I was gonna
Almost
say,
like we're
yeah.
America's team. No, we're not the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Anyone who calls themselves America's team that's like the word equivalent of wearing a bandana.
Yeah.
Just makes you a loser, dude. Mm-hmm. And it makes me hate you.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyways.
None of it matters. They're all making tons of money. They're selling it on
Hockey's
everything.
doing pretty well this year, actually. Viewership's up.
Dude, if you hire Liam Neeson to say, like, everything's reset, we're going to do the, I don't know, I can't do
That's
Liam Neeson
not
voice.
how he talks.
Hey, everything's reset. And now we're going to do the Stanley Cup. That's what he says.
Okay.
And
what are you talking about?
there's a commercial
Yeah.
where I swear it's Liam Neeson
Okay.
talking about,
Probably
like,
not Liam Neeson, but...
I bet you it is.
Oh, really?
Man, we got to bring this out again.
Okay, so... All right, anyways, what does he say?
He says something along the lines of, like, hey, it's
Stanley Cup
hockey
time?
It's hockey time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all. NHL.
Is your argument
commercial.
here that, like, advertisements with famous people work? Because
no, I'm saying
known
they
quantity.
must be raking in the big bucks if they're getting Liam Neeson.
Or they're
in there.
desperate.
Or they're desperate.
Get a washed up...
He's not that washed
Nah,
up.
I like Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He does some stuff. He's
Dude,
getting old though.
I did watch a video essay of apparently Palpatine was like one of the only Jedi he was afraid of was Qui-Gon Jinn.
Okay.
Wouldn't you think he'd be like afraid of like Yoda or something? I guess Yoda couldn't take him down though.
No, I think it's one of those, like, if Qui-Gon's going against it, like, you got to think about it this way. Who is the closest thing to Qui-Gon Jinn. That's right, Count Dooku. So,
like questioning the Jedi.
correct.
So
Dooku was Qui-Gon's master.
Yeah, but yes.
So,
but here's the thing: like Dooku got so like his ankles are so broken that he got completely manipulated by Palpatine
right
into
right.
like leading a fake war.
Absolutely, but Qui-Gon did not. So it's one of those things where
But
like
he still
Dooku,
ran right in. Like he didn't see it coming. I mean, he died too early
right.
to see it coming.
But what I'm saying is, so Dooku mentored Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
And Dooku went down a path, and Qui-Gon was like smart enough or good enough to say like, "Hey, I ain't doing that." So Palpatine could corrupt Dooku.
Yeah.
But
so
he
Dooku's
couldn't
washed.
corrupt. Yeah, but he couldn't corrupt.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people he couldn't corrupt.
Sure, but what I'm saying is,
I don't think that's the thing.
Dooku was powerful enough for questioning the Jedi enough. It's easy for Yoda and Windu and everyone because they all just they were so full of themselves, and they were like, "Oh,
I don't think that's true. I think Windu. I mean, because he utilized dark side power.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so he was
what
kind
they call
of
them, the shatter points or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't read that.
Okay,
but anyways, so. Like, yeah, Yoda's, like, you know, pretty lost in the sauce. But I think Windu, like, although, like, it does take him quite a while to believe Anakin when he's saying, hey, man,
it took him.
This guy is not good. He's been telling me all this crazy shit.
Sure.
Windu's actually kind of a, I don't know.
He's like, all right, well, I'm going to go check this out. And I swear to God, if you're lying,
that
you're
scene always bugs me, though, because it's like they come in to arrest him. And the two Jedi Masters with them just get crushed instantly. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, dude. Like, because I'm pretty sure, I forget who they were, but their lore is like, they're pretty strong.
They fixed that in the novel.
It's a novel.
The problem was, like, they still get hit pretty quickly, but it's because Palpatine is so
OP.
Insane. Like, insanely fast and just catches them by surprise.
Just doesn't do it justice in the movie.
The movie, dude, you have this, like, 80-year-old dude spinning. Yeah. He's like,
yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's why you need, like, an animation.
Yeah.
It's like, you can just, like, when you have stuff that's like that, I don't want to say out there, but, you know.
Dude, they could have done it where, like, he's in front of them, he's talking and things like that. He doesn't need to, like, hold his robe open and pull his lightsaber out and ignite it and then corkscrew through the air. He literally should just be talking and being this feebled guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And then immediately just, like, fling his arm up as the lightsaber comes off and, like, cuts him that way.
Yeah.
That would have been
quick
so
move.
much
just
better.
A quick move.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you don't even see, like, shaky cam.
Like the samurai where they pull the sword out and hilt it again real quick and sheath it again. Yeah.
Yep.
You could have done that in a million different ways, but yeah, I don't know.
And then Anakin pushes him out the window. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Could have helped him, dude.
Dude, there's so many fan things of just like Mace Windu just beat up and old and different things like that where it's like, he's still alive. He can do this.
He's dead, dude.
Yeah.
He's done.
No, he's not.
I like Mace Windu. I think he's a little overrated.
I don't like Samuel L. Jackson playing him. He brought too much Samuel L. Jackson in there.
I just think that's unavoidable, though. I think he did a fine job. I think he did better than, like, if I go back to 2003. Is that what it was? I don't know. Anyways, if I go back to the early 2000s.
I think it was 98.
No, but episode 3?
I'm talking 1, but okay. That's
when he dies, episode 3, spoiler. Right. So, like, if you would have told me, oh, dude, Samuel L. Jackson's going to be a Jedi, I would have been like, oh, that's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think he did better than, like, my initial thought of what he'd be. Is he still Samuel L. Jackson? Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that a bad thing? Not really. Like, maybe I'd like a little bit more MFs in the movie. If that's like
in the PG movie.
Actually,
I think
heard this
3
one
was PG-13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually heard this one thing. I don't know if it's true, but it was like Samuel L. Jackson had a stutter, I think, or something. And he would say, like, he would use motherfucker to break his stutter.
That sounds like an urban legend, but I love it.
Yeah, it probably isn't true, but that's so badass that I want to think it's true.
Someone who beat him now? It's like Jonah Hill or someone. Didn't we talk about that?
Oh, in swearing?
Curse words, yeah.
In movies?
Yeah.
Jonah Hill?
I think so.
That doesn't make sense.
It was someone that you're just like, oh, I would never have thought.
Jonah Hill's just too young. I mean, I guess he's not that young
but
anymore.
He's in like filthy movies. So
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, what about Pacino, dude?
Pacino
Scarface alone is like that had the record for the longest time.
Yeah.
I guess Jonah Hill was in The Wolf of Wall Street, dude, which was like pretty. Every sentence he was saying the F word.
Yeah, so Samuel L. Jackson did 301 times. And he was at the top until Wolf of Wall Street came out. And then Leonardo DiCaprio is at 361 and Jonah Hill is at 376.
Like that movie alone was...
That was of 2022, so it could change.
Injected with F words.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, you have to for that movie. Margot Robbie's still probably just the hottest character ever in my mind.
In Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, that's like my ultimate dibs.
That's your ultimate dibs?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we had to pick like a movie character.
Like a hall pass.
Yeah, sure, but
like you get married and then Margot Robbie knocks at your door.
Well, let's stay in the realm of reality here. Just
okay, I'm just
a theoretical gentleman's agreement of
So okay, I see what you're saying.
So it's like that to me. I think that still has to be it.
Who among the friends would fight you?
I don't think anyone would.
Point, you know what I mean?
I'm just saying it's just it's a theoretical gambit.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if gambit's the right word for that.
It's not, but it sounded good.
Sure.
It sounded very good in my head, and it still sounded good in real life.
There's a chance, speaking of Jonah Hill, the Channing
Gambit
Tatum.
Gambit could work because I proposed that idea, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm luring you to take my piece. To challenge me on it.
Oh.
So you have a choice. It's a gambit. You have a choice whether to challenge me on that pick or to let it go, and we continue the game. So you can accept the gambit or deny it.
I'm with you.
I can make it work.
I take it back.
I can make it work.
You made it work.
I made it absolutely work, and it worked very well.
Channing Tatum might play Gambit and might be in the Deadpool 3 movie.
Dude, Taylor Swift, there's reports that she got offered something.
Yeah.
She was talking to Feige or something.
Are we going to see that? Is that like a
Taylor Swift?
Theater? No, not Taylor Swift. Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's going to be like the last good... I trust Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
I trust those two. Oh, 1,000%.
I get so worried, but...
Dude, Deadpool's just going to shit on it the whole time. He's going to be like, dude, remember when these movies were good? Dude, like this is so terrible.
But there needs to be a line. You can't just, like, if you shit all over something and then it's just bad, that doesn't excuse it being bad.
The first two have earned my trust implicitly from him. Until I see something different, I'm going to assume it's going to be great.
I will say every other Ryan Reynolds featured movie that I've seen since then, not a fan of. If he guest stars in something, he's the best part of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So
I think he's very like
Ryan Reynolds.
But he kind of is Deadpool at this point. I think he's kind of morphed into like a Robert Downey Jr. esque. I wouldn't say it's that bad. Like Robert Downey Jr. is legitimately Iron Man to the point where like you see him in interviews and it's like I think at this point he's trying very hard not to be Iron Man.
Yeah.
He's like you can see him trying.
I could be Oppenheimer or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I heard he was okay in that, but
he won an award.
Well, so what?
I'm just
Awards
saying,
mean nothing these days.
No, I'm just saying people agree he was.
You know that the only person to win an award from the Barbie movie was the guy was Ken.
That's actually
the irony on that was so funny. Not that he did a great job. He was really funny. I just thought like the irony was you have all these women.
Yeah.
And then you have like the whole message of the movie or whatever. Yep. And it's like, yep, Ken.
Yeah, but they had other good movies for like that vein. I don't know. I don't want to touch that. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I just thought it was funny.
Ryan Gosling, pretty good actor. I'm into him.
I like Ryan Gosling.
He's not bad.
I actually wanted to see the Fall Guys thing. Movie.
Guys?
He's like a stuntman.
Oh yeah,
I heard it was pretty good.
There's also Fall Guy or something.
Fall Guy, that's what it's called.
Yeah, but there's also something else with Ryan Reynolds.
No, this isn't Ryan Reynolds.
I know, but there's another movie that's
is
similar.
Is it Ryan Reynolds? Now no, it has to be.
No, it's like New Guy or The Guy or something.
Oh,
or Guy.
Yeah, that's old though. Older,
yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that's still in theaters. I would go see that.
I doubt it. Maybe like some back alley. Like,
dude, I'm always trying to go to the theater.
Yeah,
I miss going to the theater, but like, can't tell you the last movie I was excited for.
I was excited for Dune. I think people put Dune way higher. Like people like Kyle loved.
Dude, we got out of the theater and Kyle was like better than Star Wars. I was like, you're crazy, bro. That's insane.
Accurate. It's very well done.
Yes,
like
it's a great movie.
Yeah, but like
it's.
Do I think about Dune
Star Wars
ever after seeing it? No.
I thought about it a little bit. I thought, okay, there's like some really cool, like obviously the visuals are amazing. It might be the best CGI effects I've ever seen.
Sure.
But like the choreography is great. Like the fight scenes were cool, but like the story's pretty straightforward, which isn't bad. I mean, Star Wars is pretty straightforward, but like the characters aren't as good. Like if we're comparing it to Star Wars straight up, the music's worse.
Yep.
Definitively. And the characters aren't as good.
The music is worse, but the sound effects are good. Like
the sound effects
Star Wars sound effects
crazy.
are nostalgic and they're iconic, but I don't know if they're necessarily good. But the sound design,
I do appreciate that the Star Wars effects are like practical though.
Yeah.
Which is always cool. I always thought that was like, talk about one of the coolest jobs ever. Being one of those practical effects people, whether it's art
like television.
Now
dude, you're walking across.
There's
gravel.
a name for it. I forget.
Yeah.
Daniel Tosh actually on his podcast just had a girl who
really
does that.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Like the effects that they get from different things, it's super cool.
Yeah.
I think he was asking her how they do blowjobs. Sounds.
Sure.
Yeah.
I bet that's fairly easy.
It's like yogurt or something.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's gross.
Yeah.
Or she was saying like my least favorite is kissing or something.
Okay.
Kissing sound effects, which is weird because I would think that you wouldn't need to do. But there's like a lot of sound effects they actually put in that you wouldn't think. You would think like, oh, the camera would just pick this up or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Or if it's like animation, obviously.
Animation's rough, man. That's especially anime. Like all of those sounds.
Yeah, there's a ton of sounds.
Yeah.
Like that's any kind of animation is unbelievably impressive.
Yeah.
And it costs way more than like dude, how about, by the way, change topics here a little bit.
I love how none of this is on our list. This is fine. This is good.
Well, this can tie into the Xbox bet, but Jeff was telling us that video games cost way more to make than movies. Maybe not way more, but he's like, video games cost more than movies. I just think that's not true on average.
I think that it's more about the budget of like marketing and things like that.
Yeah, but if you have a blockbuster versus AAA, right? I mean, you have to like keep them in the same category. Like, yeah, a AAA game is going to cost more than a like movie festival.
Yeah. But what did we say GTA 6 was? Like $1 billion or something? Like
yeah, but that's like going to be the most expensive game of all time. And then we look at the most expensive movie of all time, and you still think GTA 6 is going to cost more than that movie?
And GTA 6 is like a edge case. Like you should look up.
Yeah, GTA 6 is like it's even hard to classify it as a video game. It's like a transcends that.
Yeah, you need to look at like what the average cost of a video game is. And the thing with it too is, and I guess we could just get into Game Pass now that Jeff's not here to defend himself. But like the thing you can get into is a lot of the games coming out on Game Pass are like smaller budget things or made by like one person or like, you know, like these kind of like love letters to, I liked Zelda as a kid, so here's this like pixel art, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Costs money, sure, but ain't no $1 billion development cycle. I don't know.
Is that confirmed? GTA 6 is $1 billion?
If you looked it up, that's what they were saying. But it's got to be like marketing and everything else.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. You know, all cutscenes, like we're talking about animation. Like that's every cutscene, man, is just a cajillion dollars. I swear, it's just so much money. But you got to think like CGI has got to be super expensive too.
Yeah.
So Force Awakens was. Oh shoot!
Force Awakens, the Star Wars.
It says 533 million, but
Yeah.
that's a ton of money.
Yeah, but then you look at like Lord of the Rings, the TV show, and that was like 400 million. So it's like, well,
yeah, right.
It all depends on what you're
so
trying to do.
it looks like over 500 mil. Are we sure that $1 billion? How much?
That's what they said. Now I don't know if that's projected sales or something.
Oh, we're talking.
No, I don't know.
Profit?
I don't know
because all those movies crossed $1 billion.
I believe because we looked it up whenever Jeff was here. So if you type in like GTA 6,
$2 billion to develop.
Game
Holy
budget.
shit,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 times more than the second place, or Red Dead 2. Yeah,
sure, but that's what they do. They do that one game.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean that's way more than any movie. Except I don't know what. I'd have to look more into the movies. Like, does that count marketing and stuff? Probably does.
It has to be. If that's the budget for the game, that like half that is
No,
marketing.
I'm saying for the movies that I just looked up that were like, this took
yeah,
500 million to produce.
It's got to be. Yeah. I was going to see if they had Black Ops 6.
Right, I guess
if they put the big budget
technically
out.
Jeff wins. I would love to see the average though across both industries.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's no way that movies cost less.
No. I mean, what was the last Call of Duty?
Dude, we're talking like low movies get like $1 million. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like video games don't get that much. We're talking like indie games, like one guy. I guess you could like kickstart stuff.
Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like
What do I mean?
Oh, I see. Just get
Kickstarter,
crowdfunding and
like
different things
crowdfunding.
like that.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know.
Star Citizen shouldn't.
How much is Star Citizen?
656 million or 630
Crazy,
million. So like Genshin Impact, 700 million. Monopoly Go,
Monopoly Go?
it's 500 million. Yeah.
How?
Just development and
It's a mobile game.
So that's how much here. As far as development goes, so Star Citizen is $514 in development.
Yeah.
$514 million development. Marketing is $116 million. So you're looking at the total cost of it. Yeah, Monopoly Go is slated at that. So Cyberpunk, for instance, is at 441. Marvel's it says Marvel Spider-Man 3 has a budget of 385 million.
So the one that has not come out yet?
Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is only 200 million.
Yeah, but that's back in the... Or no, that's the new one.
Yeah. Well, that's the one before. That was 2009.
That's the original one.
So Marvel
Holy shit.
Spider-Man... I'm just going
So
in
that
order
must
of,
have
like,
been the most expensive game to make for the
Yes.
longest time.
Marvel Spider-Man 2
Wow.
was 315 million. Yeah, so like 2009, whenever Modern Warfare 2 came out, because they knew they just had just pure gold.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Dude,
what
Modern
they
Warfare
did.
2 was
Yeah.
so good.
But like a lot of this stuff isn't even... So like Final Fantasy 7 was 80 to 145 million. So that's just cost. So what they're doing here is they're adjusting for inflation. So
okay.
That's
So
kind of
Modern
where that
Warfare 2
comes
was
to.
not that much.
To actually make it was, let's see, total it was 200 million to make. So
Is that adjusted or no?
No, so development cost was between 40 and 50 million. The marketing was 150 to 160 million. So that was $200 million total to make, and in 2009. Adjusting for inflation, that's between 341 to 355 million.
Oh, wow. So it's not as much as I thought.
Yeah. But like Halo 2's up there, Destiny's up there, stuff like that. So like again, inflation, but you go from $650 million down to like within maybe like 5, 6, 7 games. Now you're looking at like, oh, this was 180 million, like, 130, and now you're getting into like just double digit $1 million, like.
I don't know. Maybe he's right. I don't know. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but here's the thing. So for people that are still with us as we're jumping around, I made a bet with Jeff, it's a crazy bet. We bet $1,000. This is over.
Yeah, why would you take that? That was so dumb.
Because I feel very confident, and I want to see how this goes down.
Right.
But I bet $1,000. Dwayne bet $1,000. So Jeff is going to have to either he makes $2,000 or ponies up $2,000, which is insane to think about. But we bet that Microsoft will still have Game Pass or a subscription service. It might not be called Game Pass. I don't want to get dinged on a technicality that Game Pass actually doesn't.
Yeah, they're gonna have
an all-encompassing something
service.
Yeah.
Jeff's point though is that he believes they're just gonna be a publisher.
Sure, and they can be. It doesn't matter. That was never the bet.
You better double check.
100%.
Because that's what he was saying, though. But that's what he was saying.
Doesn't matter.
He was saying they're just going to be a publisher.
They can be a publisher, but they still have Game Pass. My pure bet.
Yeah.
And he added all this language about like Sony still doing it and Nintendo still doing it and stuff like that, because that's part of his thing is Sony and Nintendo will still be doing a la carte games, and the whole industry, like just the industry as a whole, did not move purely to a subscription-based model. My thing is, do I think that Microsoft will eventually just nix the Xbox? Absolutely. Probably in the next 10 years. I'm not disputing that whatsoever, but I do dispute the fact that they would just get rid of their, gaming Netflix model.
Yeah.
Do I think that it's going to be dramatically more money than $10? You better believe it over the course of 10 years. But that's not what the bet is. The bet is just, are they still going to be having a subscription service for video games?
Right.
100% on.
Yeah, like, no, it's the only thing that's working for them.
Yeah.
Although, like, the whole argument was like, oh, they're not making money on it, blah, 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 this and that. It's kind of hard to say because, like, anything that it's Microsoft, right? And Microsoft's just popping off. Yeah. So it's like, if Xbox is doing really bad, they're not going to say anything.
I think Jeff
or they'll cherry pick about, like, oh, this was good and that.
Without Jeff being here to defend himself, so, like, I don't want to, like, just put words in his mouth. Jeff is a very optimistic person, and that, like, he likes the physical games. He likes the idea of, like, this a la carte stuff. He likes the developers getting their money. I agree with all of that. Like, that is a better, I think, world for games. But being a consumer and being selfish and being like, hey,
I disagree with the physical.
What I'm saying is the option is there. I think everyone should have an option to do whatever they want.
Perfect world, you get to pick.
You do whatever you want.
Right.
My thing is, I think the populace would much rather be like, hey, here's $20. I don't want to go to Target and look for a CD-ROM, or I don't want to go and look for a DVD or whatever. I just want to turn on my device and hit this game and play this game and stuff. And it's just this always on a la carte, like, is not the thing. It's give me bulk and I will pick and choose what I want based off of this library. That, I think, just consumer mentality is, we're used to just, oh, you told me about, this fifth sense. I keep, what's his name?
What?
The Symphony
Shostakovich.
Shostakovich. I keep thinking, okay.
Yeah.
Composer. Oh, you said Shostakovich. Okay, cool. Oh, the Pittsburgh version of it, like the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, like version of it. Sure, no problem. Type it in. There it is. And I listen to it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's Microsoft's long-term goal to just keep getting bigger and bigger and big. Like, I get right now, like, if they're saying they're losing money, or Jeff's saying that they're losing money and they're not publishing their financials and all this other stuff, that could all be true. But my whole thing is, like, Microsoft doesn't spend $100 billion between Activision and Bethesda and all these other studios to just, like,
they want all the games,
let it go away. Yeah.
And then you're going to only be able to play them through Game Pass or whatever, right?
Correct.
That's like the goal.
Yeah. And it's
that
just
seems to be the goal to me.
Yeah.
As a small brain.
I mean, they'll still sell the games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll still sell them a la carte. I don't think that they're going to go, like, fully.
Well,
like,
they still do.
Exactly.
But nobody buy, like, why would I ever buy a game on Xbox? Like,
exactly.
I played Persona 3 this year.
Yep.
I'm good. I played it. I'm not going to go back and play it again.
The reason why I took the bet, now, if you were to tell me 20 years or longer, we can't even fathom what technology is going to be like in 20 years, right? So my thing is, already, like, if you, and I think I asked Jeff, and I think he said 2029, like, hey, when do you think Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out? It's like
2029.
I think that's what he said. Because they're still trying to put Starfield on life support and everything like that. If I was a betting man, I would say they're sunsetting that and they're moving on.
They're trying really hard to convince me that Starfield's alive. Like, I was on my Xbox app.
I screenshotted. Dude, hold on. That's actually.
We're talking about the same thing.
I 100 continue. Go ahead.
Well, I was on my Xbox app because I have Game Pass and it's a great deal.
Yes.
And it was like, I don't know if it was games recommended for you or hot games, but there was Starfield with a little flame on it. I was like, there's no fucking way.
So I get this notification that pops up on the bottom screen.
Yeah.
It says Starfield's update 4 is live. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize they did 4 updates. Cool. Let's see what it is.
Yeah.
Experience new features and improvements in Starfield's latest update, including surface maps, new difficulty options, and display settings.
Yeah.
That's your 4th update, that's what you're pulling in their 4th update.
It's bad.
If nothing else, that got me to be like, oh, never.
I just don't believe that it's trending.
It could.
They had me convinced that it's trending. I guess, look, if it's still on Game Pass, you can you still got it.
It's hard for me to believe that Starfield is trending and, like, Fallout isn't.
Fallout was trending big time.
But that's because of the TV
show. Did you see the Steam charts?
No, I didn't.
Crazy.
No. Yeah.
It was yeah.
It's like when the Witcher TV show comes out and then
Witcher
3
I
pops
think
off.
that is the future. games are going to make a TV show.
Yeah.
And they're gonna. I mean, look at Cyberpunk, dude. When
Well,
that anime came out,
Yeah, they tried
Cyberpunk
that.
popped off.
What was that? I forget what it was called, but they did one where it was like what happens in the game influences the TV show and stuff like that. I forget the name
game?
escapes me. It wasn't a great game.
Oh. Well, I'm talking like a big budget.
It was a big bet. It was a big bet because they made a TV show around it. It was a simultaneous TV show and video game.
I don't have no idea what you're talking about. Like
why
you
we
could do
need
that for GTA so easily. GTA might be one of the best like live action things that you could do because that's like just any other show.
You can do like, dude. I think it started with a D or something. It was like,
Did you watch the Fallout show?
yeah,
Was it good?
It was fine. I don't like Fallout to begin with, but the fact that I like went through it all, I guess, says something.
I don't think so. Not at this point. You're literally sitting there with a baby.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I my tolerance has gone way up in terms of things that are like
Yeah,
worth
you
my
don't have
time
a choice,
when I
exactly.
can't move or go anywhere.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
So-
that's fair. This is such an old thing that it's not even coming up in lists. A lot of Castlevania stuff, a lot of Halo stuff. Twisted Metal, I think, is still my favorite out of all of them.
Dude,
which
did you
is
ever watch
wild to me.
I told you, didn't I tell you that was good?
Yeah,
and you didn't
did.
believe me?
Yeah, and
you just kept
I
saying,
just
dude, it's gonna suck.
Spit in your face and
Yeah, you
that's
did.
how old this thing is. I think it starts with a D, and I'm sure someone will text me after the fact and let me know. Like, it's not Divinity, but it's like Divergence or some weird thing. I don't know. Anyway,
So I actually got recommended on YouTube. There was like a Tekken show.
yeah.
Did you
on
watch
Netflix.
that?
Animated one? No, it's like young Jin, and I'm like, I don't really care too much.
Dude, I was watching a clip today. Jin was speaking English, and I turned that shit off. I was like, "Are you kidding me, dude?" Like
Yeah.
the one time people are actually okay with like there being no dub
Yeah.
because the games.
Yep.
That's so
Yeah.
dumb to me.
There's a live
it was
action
bad.
one too.
That seems terrible. I remember that.
it's
yeah,
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just some things you can't do. Like Tekken universe is way too crazy to do live action. There's no way you get away with that.
Yeah.
I just feel like fighting games are very untapped when it comes to
Yeah.
the lore. I mean, it's like there's a lot there, but it's always you have to like piece it together. It seems like.
And you have to pick one
Thread.
canon thing. Yeah.
Right.
gets a little
That's what that bugs me.
Yeah.
Not knowing what the canon is always bugs me.
That's fine, but like think about like if you did like a Mass Effect TV show or something, and then it's all over the place, and you can't like,
That'd
you know,
be
like
interesting.
it's not
Mass
my
Effect.
Mass Effect, you know. So, I don't know.
Well, as long as they respect the original material.
Sure,
I mean, that's
but
the most important part, right?
what if Shepard's getting with I don't know Tally or whatever?
That's
and it's
the
not
thing.
the
Like
same
you can't do what the video game does. You can't have those
Yeah.
characters.
Right.
Right. So it's like, especially if it's a game about choice.
Yeah, but what if they make Shepard like more sarcastic or more like?
No, you just don't have
Less
those characters.
goofy.
Like, dude, the Mass Effect universe is so big, you could do anything.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're just
Do
saying,
the
like,
first
completely
contact
other-
war, do
Yeah.
after, do whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that works so well with Halo and whatnot too. Yeah.
they did Chief.
Yeah, but it's everything surrounding Chief, and everyone's just like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
Like,
but that's what Halo also, big enough universe, don't do Chief. You have so much material
yeah,
before
I think
Chief.
Halo's, yeah, I don't know.
Something else. It's a big universe. You don't got to do this one guy.
I'm just ignorant
like I
of
get
it.
he's your selling point,
Yeah,
but I don't know. Storytelling wise, you have so much material on him that you're exactly right. People have a perception of who the character is.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it better than the original script writers.
I know there are a lot of Halo books, and like I said, like I'm ignorant when it comes to like the backstory and all of that. But like, man, I don't think that universe is interesting. Just like I don't think
It's
love
pretty wild.
I love Gears of War, but I don't think Gears of War is interesting either. You know?
Yeah, the Halo universe is I wouldn't say it's uninteresting because I remember when we were reviewing Infinite, I watched a whole
Yeah.
recap of like what happens, and it's pretty wild.
Yeah, but it's mainly centered around Chief and like just the program.
Yeah, but there's
and stuff
more.
like that.
There's more. There's a lot more. I mean, there's a whole Spartan program, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot that can come before him. I mean, like he's the main character. So
Yeah.
obviously a majority of it's about him. But there's like thousands of years of history before Chief.
But what I'm saying is like the thing that makes it interesting is like the Spartan program. So like already, it might not be Chief, but you're going to go
Well,
Chief adjacent.
I think the
where, like-
Halo rings are like the focal point, like this powerful weapon that just neutralizes star systems. is
Yeah, but it's
crazy, and
still-
then these alien races, and
Yeah.
there's not as much. Look, okay, so Halo, like you talk about something like Mass Effect in terms of sci-fi. There's a lot more diplomacy and nuance there, which I prefer. Halo is all about just like these guys hate those guys, and we're going to war, and we're fighting over the rings,
Yeah,
and
like,
that's pretty much
guys
what it
are
boils
older
down
than
to.
These guys, yeah.
They were experimenting on people and Super Soldier. Like, sure, it's pretty one note, but I wouldn't say it's like bad.
Oh, I don't think it's bad, but I'm just saying like it's not. It's
not
TV,
as engaging.
TV worthy. I don't know what stories you'd be telling.
Yeah, that's fair. Like Mass Effect would be really cool.
Mass Effect, you could kind of do whatever, and like
Yeah.
it could work.
If they could get the costume design on point, the makeup,
Yeah,
like just do practical effects, man.
you could do that.
You could 100%. You could do that. I mean, cosplayers do it all the time.
Yeah,
I think Turians would be tough. That's a very unnatural.
yeah, but you see some of the stuff on Star Wars and honestly even Star Trek, and they make it work. I think I could do
It's
that.
a little bit different because in Star Wars, a lot of it is like you might have like a like an octopus face where it's like a solid structure.
Yeah.
Turians' faces have like flaps.
I think,
And you can see in their like
I
you can
think
kind
you
of
could
see
do
their
that.
jaw and stuff.
I think you could do that.
You could do it. I'm just saying
more
it's
easily.
tough.
I think you could do that more easily than like a Krogan. I think a Krogan would be where you start running into issues
No,
because they're equally as expressive,
yeah, right.
and you can't
Their
really
facial
do that.
features are just so
Yeah,
large
here's the
and
thing.
different. Yeah,
If you watched Witcher and there's like this like beast guy who ended up being like a bad guy or whatever, people kept going back and forth because they're like, oh, that's totally CGI. Oh no, that's practical effects. Oh no, that's CGI.
They didn't
Just
know.
because it was so good.
Yeah.
like it looked so real.
what was it?
I think like a little hybrid, but I think
Hybrid, sure.
over like certain things, like the entire thing was like CGI'd, but they had like
But was it a monster they were fighting, or was
It
it
looked like-
a character that's going to? Because like if you have a Krogan,
it
like
was,
you said,
they
talking.
sat down to dinner.
okay,
Like he was
Sure.
So it's this beast that was like under a curse or whatever.
Yeah.
Think Beauty and the Beast. So like
seen that
imagine
one.
Beast, but like live action. How
they
bad
they,
really he
they
looked.
Did do that. Yeah,
This looked like infinitely
yeah,
better.
right. As a TV show, which is crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think the tech is there, and I think if you put the love and effort into it, you can do it.
I am curious how like CGI can just have such a stark difference of like some look like the sandworms from Dune look incredible.
Yeah.
Like like obviously sandworms don't exist as far as I know.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That'd be bad. But like
Wouldn't
it
be
looks
good.
like a sandworm.
Sure.
I was like, holy crap, where'd they get those sandworms from, man?
Yep.
Mars?
But they're on the desert filming and
And
doing that stuff.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, they were in the desert, which again, like that's unbelievable to me that you can get all that equipment out there and like
Yep.
film in the middle of the desert is wild.
They did that with I think Obi-Wan too. Certain sections of Tatooine, they were out there.
I just watched that clip of him talking to Leia, and it really bothered me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I just. You got so much like
you need the
I
right
was-
people in there. You need people that actually like care about the source material.
Well,
and you
that's
can-
Mark
you can do
Hamill, which is
Sure.
like what a waste. But anyways, it's like you have so much material. The biggest problem, as we always state and come back to this, is that they just nixed all of this expanded universe.
it. Yeah,
That was good.
specifically
I,
the Star Wars stuff is what
I
we're talking
don't
about now.
think like I was thinking about this, dude. I feel like the written material oftentimes is much better, even though I'm not
Yeah.
a fan of it. And like I'm like trying to think of why that is. I mean, it's different, right? And it's preference. But we've been writing for a much longer time than we've been filming. And I think that's part of the reason maybe we have all
Yes.
this history of the written word. And so I think we can be a lot more expressive, and we just have a better technique when it comes to writing. And so like you see in my mind, I guess, like a lot of the time like books are just of much higher quality than maybe movies are. Obviously there's a lot of great movies, but like when you see like a book get what do you call it? You know, made for the big screen.
Yeah.
What do you call that? There's a word for that.
Convert it over. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like
I don't know.
anyways, so like if done well, if respected, you know,
Yeah,
like a Lord of the Rings.
100%.
Like I feel like you can extract the potential, I guess is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like obviously some things are better in book form, some things are better in movie form, but
Yeah.
I think like just overall, if I had to like, that's something I was thinking about.
I think it comes down to, so like if you look at the novelization, adaptation, whatever you want to call it.
Adaptation.
Adaptation, is that what you're going
Yeah,
for? Okay.
yeah.
If you're going for the adaptation.
Adaptation,
Adaptation. Sorry. Fancy. You have to put your pinky out when you say it.
Gambit.
I think it all just comes into like internal monologues and how people are feeling. I think that's really it. So, for instance, if you're looking at Dooku, right? And I know I always bring him up because I was so
Count Dooku
smitten.
is slept on, dude.
But I was so smitten. Smitten is not the right word, but like I love that book so much because in the novelization, it was he's watching Obi-Wan and Anakin on the monitors. He's watching them do all the stuff, get like running to him. He's thinking like, oh, I can't believe he's using a prosthetic hand. That's not a gentleman. A real gentleman would fight with one hand.
Yeah, like the internal monologue.
All the internal monologue.
Yeah, right.
If you film that, it's just Dooku looking at his screen, and that's it, right? So it's just like
I don't know. There's a lot of good monologues.
Yeah, but like not to the same effect. Like I'm just saying, generally speaking, the reason why I like books more is it gives you an insight because you can read people's minds.
Yes. Yes.
So you either have to do something a little bit more clumsy, where Dooku's like, I don't know, talking to the Emperor or talking to some grunt, but then like Dooku is so hoity-toity that he wouldn't be talking to like some lowly guy like, oh, I can't believe he's using.
He's talking to himself. I mean, you can do that. It can be done.
It's a lot to just always.
Well, I think the master of this is, in my opinion, Quentin Tarantino does this the best because he's an excellent writer and he gets that across in his movies. Like his dialogue is, in my mind, the absolute best in cinema that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You can have a scene in a diner with people you just met and be completely engrossed in this conversation that has literally nothing to do with the plot. Mm-hmm. And then he does an amazing job of characterization just by this like everyday, I mean, it's not like everyday dialogue, but it's like that in that realm of like, this is everyday dialogue for like a movie.
Yeah.
You know, because it's still exaggerated and a little bit over the top, but I feel like he could do that well. Like I was just watching a video today where he was saying, dude, I write like chapters about these characters that nobody gets to see except for the actor. So like I have a whole backstory on, did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah.
So the stunt guy, Cliff.
Yep.
There's that whole thing about the boat and he was like, he got like acquitted for murder on his wife or whatever. And it was like, big, like what the heck happened. It was like a short thing too. And he's like, I wrote a whole chapter on like what actually happened on that boat.
But then you could have Brad Pitt come in and
but
go off
exactly.
Of it.
Brad Pitt reads that. So it's like, okay, so can we have Count Dooku come in? Here's his internal monologue, and then it's up to the actor at that point to, what nuances can you put into the performance to elicit that feeling of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's possible.
Do I think that George Lucas was doing that? No. But
no, of course not. I mean, Tarantino is like the GOAT or one of. So but I'm just saying it's feasible. And I'm just saying, like you said, when you have written text, when you have a book, when you have a novelization of something, you get that luxury.
Yeah.
But there's always trade-offs. I mean, you don't have the visual component, which I think can be.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it takes you, 20 plus hours to read a book? Probably not Star Wars, but like big novels, and you got to condense that down to 3 hours max. Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's just my thing because I don't know if that's true or not.
Basically, what we're saying is Game Pass is going to be here for a while.
I thought we moved past that, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. I don't know.
Video games, you get the luxury of both. Like you get that 60 hours. But you get the visual components. That's why they cost the most to make, I guess.
As a quick check-in with, so I am playing Stellar Blade. I know Jeff did a thorough review last week.
Yeah.
I'm probably about maybe 8 hours in, 10 hours in, something like that. Like I just beat the first open world thing, and I'm on like the shooter level.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something good to happen.
Did you pass the point where he said it gets
really
good?
So. He said that after the shooter level, I should get the first cool boss.
My understanding is that the boss is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
And the fighting is going to be great. And that's going to make you forget about the rest of the game, which I personally don't think that's going to happen for you. I think it's a very specific Jeff situation.
I can articulate very quickly. So I would be completely fine with all the BS of the game but I think the parrying system in that game is very, very much closer to a Dark Souls, where you have to like wait for them to attack, and then you parry it, and then you attack, and then you do this stuff. Where for me, I want something that's more active, and if I input an attack and I see them attacking me, I want me to like hit the shoulder button, parry it. I want that to be an instant cancel of whatever I did prior, because I see it coming and let me.
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
I still don't feel that the parries line up and feel good. As good as DMC, as good as Bayonetta, where like Bayonetta, you could be like swinging around and everything and doing all this crazy stuff. And like if you hit the block and you dodge it or do whatever, everything goes down in slow-mo and do stuff.
Yeah.
It just feels better. And this game still does not feel good. And then the fact is like there's these like moving targets that you have to hit with like this gun. And part of it could be I'm just so used to a mouse and keyboard that the controller feels clumsy as heck. But there's also like auto lock or auto slowdown, but on a moving target it doesn't work right. Like I'm gonna beat it, but boy, I'm waiting for.
Dude, my understanding of when he was talking about like describing the boss, it just seemed like a advanced version of Bop It.
Okay,
that's kind of where my mind was going.
Kind of.
I think he might be insulted by that description of it, but it's like because he was saying like, oh, there's all these colors and you got to do certain inputs.
But I'm getting that now. That's the thing is like
I don't know, dude. It apparently gets great.
That's why I'm gonna stick with it.
You know me, gameplay's like lower on my list than a lot of things. And some people might say, well, John, why don't you just watch a movie instead? And I'd be like, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I also really like movies. So
it's
dude,
bad.
Gameplay just has to be passable. I'm not saying like I don't like gameplay.
Gameplay is passable.
Yeah, but the problem is the story's garbage, apparently.
Yeah.
Yep. I haven't played it, so maybe I'm wrong. But apparently the story's garbage.
Yep.
The voice acting's really bad. That would grind my gears.
It's really bad.
Yeah. So can you put in another language?
That's a good question. I assume
that's
you
what
could.
I would do.
Yeah,
I just put it in Japanese.
That's what I did
Korean
for Back for Blood, and it was just better.
Like, yeah.
Did that. My thing with the game is like I'm doing all the side quests, and I'm like I gotta stop doing this because like I was running around this open world. Traversal is annoying. Where like if you're like quote unquote like sprinting, you're not actually sprinting. It takes you like 10 seconds of long running, and then the game just artificially speeds you up so you can get to a place faster.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's bad, like it's not good.
Yeah.
But I'm doing all of these side quests, and all these side quests are like, hey, find my husband. Hey, find my brother or sister or whatever. Here's a spoiler. They're always dead. Period.
Oh.
They're always dead.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, maybe something will come of it. Maybe it'll do whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, find my cat. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to find this cat. Cat's dead, dude. Like, it's just, here's just bodies littered around this place. And you're always going up to a corpse and hitting R2 and getting a little blurb of text. And it's like, oh, you want to teleport back to the board? And half the time I'm like, no, I don't want to teleport back to the board because I got to run all the way back here. Like, no thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm going to start like kind of beelining it and then like.
What is worse side quests, this or Final Fantasy 16?
This by like
really?
not even close. Dude. Not even
some of them were really bad.
At least there's some sort of interaction or dialogue. Dude, this is the bare minimum where it's like, hey, here's a bounty board of just meaningless crap to get you into like X area or whatever. It's again, I'm taking him at his word. It might be like amazing, but when he says that like all this BS doesn't go away, like okay,
dude, maybe it'll be the greatest boss fight you've ever had.
I don't even like boss fights, so I don't know how.
That's the problem.
Much,
you should have told him that.
Well, I'm all for spectacle. I enjoyed Final Fantasy 16 in that regard, so we'll see.
Dude, it was great. I had a great time.
Yeah,
it was easy.
Dude, Final Fantasy 16 looks like the masterpiece of storytelling compared to this game. Like, it's insane.
The story wasn't bad, dude. I mean, some of the side quests were pretty bad.
The side quests were the master storytelling compared to this game.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway. Yeah.
Dude, I still get so mad about that because all they had to do was cut half the side quests because half of them were good.
Yeah.
And the game was just too bloated. So it's like literally just cut half the side quests.
I missed a lot of good content because I just wasn't going to deal with it. Yeah.
If you knew every side quest was like quality, because like some of them were like, oh, this is actually important and probably should be in the main story.
Yeah.
It's like gives context or whatever. Like just keep
if
those in as the side quests, and then like the
Yeah.
game was too long.
Yep.
Ugh, whatever. But hey, they were trying something new. I had a good time.
All that matters.
Nobody can take that away from me.
Nope.
No.
We'll try, but we can't.
No,
take it
you
away
try
from
your best, and I love that game. That
Yeah.
game's great. I still want to go back and play all of them, so I can just have my list. You know how I like lists.
Yeah.
I have my list of like, here's I've played them all.
We remember when we were going to do that
here's
with
my
Halo. We got the second one.
Yeah, but I have played all the Halos.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
fair.
I might have missed 5. I don't remember playing 5. Played 4.
Five's not.
Yeah, 5's terrible and probably last on my list, but I would have to play it.
Halo goes down for me, and Gears of War continuously goes. I think Gears of War is very good.
I think you're romanticizing what you think Gears were. Like, yeah, I think it's been so long, and you're just hyping yourself. Like, I am just waiting for a huge downfall for Tyler DeFazio.
For Gear 6, you mean?
Yeah.
Like when that comes out?
Oh, yeah.
No, because I've...
No, you keep saying, dude, like, I think it has manifested itself as, like, Xbox's last hope in your head. And it's just, I just don't think it's going to be as good as, like, you're thinking it will be.
I think it's going to be, like, a solid, like, 85.
Yeah, but you talk about, like, Gears 5, like, it was like, oh, this is the best.
I think Gears 5 was the best Gears of War.
Wow.
Just fully featured, and
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
But you don't play the online, so you're, like, missing a big
I
component.
played the online for Gears 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
Okay. Well, all right.
I think I would if I had people to play with. Playing
Yeah,
by
that's
myself
fair.
is no, I didn't. I
Yeah.
don't enjoy Call of Duty either playing by myself, but put some people in.
Yeah, that's true. Call of Duty's very... They're just missing... I mean, maybe I'm just a boomer at this point.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel the same as, like, the OGs. There's just something magical about it. But again,
Black
I was
Ops 6
younger
is
and...
going to be the next one.
Yeah, dude, we need to... Like, is there anything original anymore?
I didn't even know they made a Black Ops 5. I guess Cold War was the fifth one.
I don't think they did make a Black Ops 5.
Yeah, because they did 4, which didn't have a
I
campaign.
remember 4.
And then they had Cold War.
Yeah.
And then now they're calling this Black Ops 6.
Oh.
So what I'm saying is they skipped 5.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yep.
Dude, I don't know, man. I remember Black Ops 1. That was a great game.
Sure. I think 2 was great too.
2 was good, but I was pretty out on Call of Duty. My little brother was really into that's his favorite one. That's when he got time on the sticks. Because I built my computer at that point, I think.
Nate converted you over to the
yeah,
Call of
yeah. I
computer,
think at that point I was PC gaming.
I was thinking about, like, do you think there are as many cheaters on Battlefront 2, like the remaster? Is this the big? Because I was like, man, what if we just played like old school Battlefront?
Oh,
Like, we hate
I
that?
didn't
Is that
experience any cheaters on the old school, but I didn't nearly play as much time. I played like one match.
Oh, okay,
Dude, the old school, I just like running around destroying the AI.
yeah,
Because that was like my childhood. I just literally played just...
I feel bad. It's just the last few times we played, like that first night, and even like the second time we played, I was like into it. Like we were getting our butts kicked the second time, but like it was fun.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I don't know what's happening. We're just getting steamrolled every time. It's just like there's cheaters now. It's just like, man, I fell off of that pretty quickly. I don't know.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I bought the game because it was on sale for May 4th, and it was a blast because I never played the new ones. I refused to get them because EA totally fucked it up, and I hate EA. But $4, I'm like, all right, I'll do that. And they just gave me everything. It was super awesome, and and the games were super fun. I was talking about this on the podcast because my story is what made Nate want to get it.
Yeah.
I was talking about like the 2-hour game, which happened. I mean, you were in a call with me. Like there was a real thing that happened. It was super awesome. But yeah, as soon as you guys started playing, it was like all these cheaters and crazy. Because like Nate was saying, oh, the reviews say there's like all these cheaters. I was like, dude, I haven't run into any. Mm-hmm. Now it's like every game we're in, it's like something.
You're getting teleported to a different thing, or somebody's like one shot you. Yeah.
And it's like
I know that I'm in a minority here. Like I would download. You actually never bought the new Battlefield, right? Like you saw we all got screwed, and then you just like, I'm not buying it.
Oh yeah. I did not buy it.
I kind of want to download it, and
if it's less than $5, I'll get it. It's the only way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's on Game Pass.
Oh, I'd do it then. Yeah. It's free.
And you already have the EA installer in there. So.
I still need like maybe one more game for my Game Pass to be worth it this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you playing Hellblade at all? That just came out.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't really
Never
like. I
played
saw
the
it got
first
like
one?
an 82. I didn't play the first one.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. Are you gonna play it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
just don't have a
it's
desire.
I'm playing it as like an art piece more than a video game. I need a very like video game, something that I get lost, like just a dumb game. So that's what I'm looking at. I think I have one slated.
Yeah.
It's called, I think it's Mini Shooter, which is a very like Steam Deck type thing.
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
trying to play, but
That's
yeah.
a Tyler game.
I put like a dozen games on the list to try out.
You did. I have nothing on my radar. I mean, Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
Calvin was texting me about it today, which I'm gonna like probably.
I mean, they already said
I'm excited for that.
Hades isn't coming out this year. They're
Yeah.
slated for 2025.
Yeah, so I'm like, I might not even play Hades if that's the case. I don't really like the idea of early access because it's like I'm going to invest all this time into that game and then they're changing things.
Yeah.
Like I never even played Baldur's Gate 3. I didn't play any of the early access.
Yeah. No, I
So it's like,
sure.
I don't know. Because think about it, like Nate played all the early access and then he just knew the first part of that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they changed things, so you didn't know it perfectly, but it's like the framework's there.
Yeah,
It kind of spoils something, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not fresh. I like going in fresh. I like just being that first initial impression.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think I know we were going back and forth on like, should we play Hades 2? I don't think I'm going to play it. If they have like an actual, now that they're saying it's going to be next year or whatever, yeah. I mean, I'm good.
I bought it. I'm going to play it, but I agree with you. I don't think it deserves to, not deserves, but like I don't think it should be considered for this year. That'll be a next year thing.
Dude, I just don't know what to play. Like I should maybe play Animal Well, but
Yeah, I have
like,
that too. Are we doing Lethal Company at all? I know it didn't come out this year, so that's already kind of like a
I
little
should
weird.
probably play that. I mean, they were hyping it up really.
Jeff put out a
really
call
big.
for Sunday night to play.
Really? I didn't get that.
You did. You're tagged on it.
I don't
It's
think
on
so.
Discord.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's true.
It's true.
Nah.
Yeah.
I never check my Discord to be fair.
Yeah, neither did I. I was like, oh man, I want to play, and then I saw my name like actually highlighted.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, oh okay, cool. I was invited.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd play that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing. My big game already came out this year. I was telling you about that.
Yep.
Final Fantasy was it, and it just already.
Yeah.
It was a great game.
You got Assassin's Creed, you got Call of Duty, you got like kind of all the big ones. Like Gears of War will end up playing, but yeah, I don't know. It honestly, the thing that's been kind of poking at me, and this was actually on the list, is Kevin just got into Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
he's
right.
He's like sending me all these things and stuff. And I'm just like, man, like so we stopped playing around season 9, technically at the start of season 10, and I watched all the things that they brought in for season 10, 11, and 12, and it's just like quality of life update after quality of life update, like, and it just makes me kind of like, man, I miss this. I want to play it. But it's just finding the time to do it. But I don't know. Like I there's that. I have like 3 or 4 different like pirate games on my list to play this year. There's Windward, which is just like you just sail around and deliver goods between cities and stuff. Chelsea and I play that constantly, so the new one's coming out. Like there's a lot of like that type of gameplay. Like you remember Besiege, where you have to like build catapults and different things like that and knock out like, I don't know, castles and things.
Yeah.
They literally made an expansion for it that's pirates. So,
That's your thing, dude.
I know.
You
I
love
know.
pirates.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
That's like one of the things. Cowboys, pirates, space.
Yeah. I
That's
would
like
take
one of the
pirates
things.
over
I
all
know,
of
but
that
I'm
stuff,
just
yeah.
saying, like, pick a category. Someone's into one of those
That's
things.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Westerns, sci-fi.
Westerns are my least favorite. Just
Really?
easily my least favorite.
Dude, Westerns are cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like them all, dude. I don't judge. I
No,
like them all.
If you did
I like fantasy.
Borderlands,
I like Western. Borderlands is like, I don't even know what category.
Borderlands
that
would be a Western. I would put it on. If you had to pick one, I would say it's more like a Western.
Yeah, okay.
It's like desert and dull stuff. I don't know.
Is post-apocalyptic a category? Is that its own category?
Yeah.
I would put it. I would put it
dystopian.
in that dystopian. I'd put that in dystopian.
Because it's two. It's like one, it's like that, which it's, again, Western. Think about all the Borderlands characters. Think about the Fallout characters all wearing cowboy hats and talking in drawls
Yeah,
and doing all that stuff.
sure.
So you have that, and then you have like the cyberpunk version of dystopian where it's just all
Yeah,
like,
okay, sure, yeah. That's fair.
like sci-fi dystopian versus
yeah, maybe dystopian is just like a flavor.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, this is a hellscape. Do you want a dusty one or a high tech
I like
one?
dystopian. The cyberpunk world's really cool. I do like cyberpunk world quite a bit.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, I would say that's your. Like if I put you in a genre or like a scene of a game, you would typically be in a cyberpunk one. That's how I would view you. I'm not saying that's right or
What
wrong.
does that mean?
I'm just saying like
As my favorite or just
yeah.
like
If you were like, hey Tyler, there's a pirate game that came out, it'd be like, oh, I gotta tell Tyler.
Yeah.
If there's like a cyberpunk game that comes out,
sure,
then that's like, oh, John's the one that likes this one.
Cyberpunk was great, dude. That game's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just don't have like a game like that coming out.
Yeah, you kind of
I do like the AAA games,
got
but
it early.
yeah, I don't know.
But not a lot of AAA games, a lot of kind of indie stuff.
Dude, I'm still playing Balatro.
Perfect for Game Pass. Yeah. Dude, imagine if Balatro goes on Game Pass.
Dude, it's going on my phone.
I know.
That's even more dangerous.
Yeah, your phone's going to be dead.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, that's a fun to talk about a fun game.
Yeah.
But maybe I should hit up. Like, I actually think Balatro has a decent amount of reviews. Because, like, the problem is, a lot of the time, a lot of these indie games have like 2 reviews, and it's like, oh, it's a 97. It's like, okay,
Balatro
but
has
like,
a ton. Everyone's talking about that.
yeah. Indie Gamer 69 obviously is going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Because they got it for free and they want to keep getting games for free.
Yeah, Balatro's in a 91, dude. 47. Yeah. Like 47 reviews on OpenCritic. That's pretty good.
Yep.
That's like, once you get past like 30 maybe, I start like taking a look at you.
What about Switch? You got a Switch? You get to play all the Switch games? What do you? I mean, you did Unicorn Overlord.
Paper Mario.
Oh yeah, Paper Mario. What'd that get? 80?
89.
89. Oh, that's actually way higher than that.
Well, isn't this just like a re-release or
I
a remake or something?
I don't know.
I know. I think it's
there
a
were so many
remake.
remakes, like with like Mario RPG and different things like that. That
I think it's a remake. That's what IGN says.
okay.
So I'm going to trust them. So yeah, maybe I play that. I mean, Animal Well. I did play Unicorn Overlord. That was a great game. Never finished Dragon Dogmas 2.
Yeah, you should just hang that up, buddy.
Dude, how could it be that bad, man?
I don't know. I'm interested.
Did you ever
in
finish Little Guardsman?
No, it's on the docket. I'm about halfway through it. It's fine. It's not something that keeps me up at night, though. Like I thought it was going to be something different or something that's a little bit more replayable, and this is just like, just kind of work your way through it.
Are you going to play Like a Dragon?
Yeah. I mean, I have it.
Maybe
downloaded.
I play that. Maybe I just send it because I need something to play right now.
I mean, you're going to be. That's probably a more you game than it is for me.
Yeah, but I've never played them. I don't know why it's daunting. I don't even think they're related.
The one common thing that I hear is A, you don't have to play the other ones.
Yeah,
for this.
I know.
And B, this is the best one out of them.
Yeah, I always hear that though. Like, so excuse me for being trepidatious about
I'm just saying.
my.
How does it make you feel that like technically I could just not play Stellar Blade and continue Final Fantasy?
I don't care.
Like no, I know.
I stopped caring. I had a long talk with myself about this, about how all my friends shit on the games that I like, and I said, John, who gives a fuck what they think?
Yeah.
You like this game. You had a great time with this game. You know that this game's a great game.
I think it's a good game.
Yeah.
My thing is in my head. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're putting up with 10 out. Let's say conservatively, like 10 hours of just.
Well, to me,
very
it
underwhelming
really
bad game.
You're talking about Stellar Blade.
When you could be playing.
Yes.
Like, I'll tell you what. I was having an infinitely better time playing Final Fantasy. I'm not saying it like resonated with me and I loved it and everything, but like the only reason why I'm not putting that in is because it's more of this. It's the same thing with Witcher, same thing with Cyberpunk. I just forget all the systems, and I really don't want to like jump in and be like, "Oh my gosh, okay, like what was I doing?" This is so like.
That's what I thought about Unicorn Overlord. I was like, "Oh fuck,
well, exactly,
like my huge chain of attacks, like 13-step program." Yeah, no, like here's the thing, like ultimately, what it says is that you like Jeff as a person more than me. Mm-hmm. So
as long as that comes across, I just
once I understood that and swallowed that one, I was good. Like I'm good now. I'm good with who I am.
What if you told me to play that I haven't played though?
Well,
you were like, hey man,
no,
Battlefront
I'm just saying,
2, like, let's go.
Well, I
You're
don't.
like,
I don't. I stopped recommending things to people because they never like it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I've been crushed way too many times on things that I love personally that I think my friends will like, and they always hate them.
What's a
And
good
they shit on them.
comedy anime? Like something that's like a 20-minute, just like lighthearted, just
Dude, I already gave you One Punch. I'm never topping that. So
That's
I'm
true.
literally never recommending anything ever again. I've tried. We always do this. Every month you come to me and you say, just give me one. It's like a dad trying to relate to his son.
is it Food Wars? Is that the
I don't think you'd like Food Wars. I've never even seen Food Wars.
Oh, okay.
And it's very weird.
yeah. Well. maybe
I
One
don't know,
Punch will
dude.
come
I
around.
actually have no idea what you'd like. One Punch is just universally good, so it's like that's like an easy shout, but I don't know.
I was thinking about doing the live action of Cowboy Bebop.
I would throw up. I'm after my whole speech, I actually might be very upset about that. That would hurt. And then to see you rate, because I know this would happen, you would rate it higher than the anime.
There's no way.
I think you might. I think you might. You gave it an 8 out of 10.
Ed's my favorite anime character, so you can't like.
Which still shocks me. Like I should have known after you told me that. It's like everything I know about Tyler is out the window. Not that there's a problem. Ed's a great character.
Yeah,
I just don't know you.
she's literally behind you. One of those.
One of the pops.
Yeah,
I
she's
hate
on
the
the end
Funko
there.
Pops.
Yeah,
We got Spyro.
yeah, dude. The Funko
Him
Pops,
with that black eyes. That's terrible. I hate that.
Yeah, but that's
I hate that.
the reason why I do Funko is I want something from every.
And that's the only
series that I want.
universal.
That's the one that's easy to
Well,
find.
I don't know. Like if you look up on Amazon statue of Ed, you're gonna find it.
Yeah, but I don't want to be.
You want you want
nothing
a
against that
universal
peop-
style.
I want either a universal style that just kind of fits with everything, because I don't want my shelves just filled with like statues of things. Like I just got rid of all that stuff.
That's what.
Look, I get it.
Okay.
I understand.
Now
I'm
you're
a
gonna have to kind of
a hypocrite.
explain a little bit.
Funko is one of those things that you can just put them all together and they look like they're part of a set, and you can kind of just have them all.
That's what I'm saying. You want a universal style.
Yeah, versus something like I'll do like a what is it, like I have a vinyl for Journey, or I have like the Journey statue, or I have like Horizon, I have like a Lego thing, and there's a bunch of different stuff. Like I wanted to get Nina and Law and just have like 2 posters of them.
Yeah.
They have Nina, they don't have Law.
I wonder why that is.
I know.
I'll give you 3 guesses.
Because Nina, her boobs are hanging out. It's a whole thing.
Okay, I was gonna say her fighting style is a little bit more in depth, but sure, go there.
For a poster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah,
Whatever.
It's her boobies. But
100%. But go, yeah.
dude, shout out to Jod, by the way, won that tournament. Little spoiler for you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He was down. I was like, dude, why did you send me this? And he's getting just smacked around, and then he just.
I know, you gotta stick with it.
Yeah.
That was a great. It was one. I don't remember which one it was, but have you seen like the format? We're talking about Tekken now, by the way. Have you seen the format for like how they're doing? So essentially, there's like these different types of tournaments. Like there's majors, and then there's smaller ones, and then they have like local like dojo ones that we could theoretically actually just join, right? And then they all have points, and then if you get enough points, there's like a world championship at the end of the year, something like that. I thought it was an interesting system.
Yeah.
But I guess he won one of these, like not. I don't think it was a major, but I think it was like a step down from that.
Yeah, I mean, people looked like they were just like pulling out their like folding chairs and sitting there just cheering.
There were a lot of people there, though.
A ton of people.
There were a couple hundred people. It seemed like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jod, number 1 Nina in the world.
Yep.
So I watch a lot of his stuff. Some things I've noticed about at least his gameplay, or just top gameplay in general, is one, it's, I guess the first thing I noticed is the movement is what separates the professionals from the non-professionals. Every pixel is seemingly calculated. Like their spacing's almost perfect. Like you make a mistake with spacing and you're going to get punished. They have the movement cancels or whatever, the Korean backdash, which just gives you that extra advantage. The second thing I noticed is I will say professionals do drop their punishment, like their combos sometimes, but they're pretty consistent on it, obviously. And the combo routes that they have are very, like, they have a bunch of different routes depending on the situation. So if they're far away from a wall, they have a specific combo that they do. If they're close to a wall, they'll adjust. Or if they're like in a corner and have to like do a side. Like they'll input a sidestep into their combo route to position the person in a way that gives them a better positional advantage. So that stuff's crazy. The micro that goes into that, I thought was interesting. It's really cool once you see a pro player on your main and you like I'm at the point where every move he puts in, I know the move. Like I think I know all 200 of Nina's moves.
Yeah.
Which is, I never thought I'd get there. Like it's actually crazy. So it's like anything he does, I'm like, yeah, I know what he did. I know what the input was.
Yep.
So that was really cool. But with him, it's like, it's a lot more, I don't know if it was just this game, but it's so much more patient than like what I'm used to, where it's like, we're always finishing our strings. We're always being very aggro, very aggressive. It's like, he'll just do like a mid poke several times, not finish the string. Like my down forward one is a mid kind of karate chop poke thing. And that's like the central move that connects to like, it's this huge tree of strings that I can go to. And like he like it's very interesting. Like I would say like 90% of the time, 80% of the time, he's just one or two inputs. Because I guess they don't want to give up their turn. It's like really interesting to watch. It's like very slow, and he's just playing the position game. He'll do a sidestep and then punish. It's just more about spacing. It's more about movement than just mashing buttons, I guess.
But it's perfect to watch. Like you just learn the other person. Like you fight them enough over the course of like the tournament that it's like, okay, now I have to adjust how I'm doing this, and like they start getting like really defensive towards the end. So it's like it's cool to watch that kind of stuff and it proves out that like even if you're getting your ass beat, like you learn the matchup and then you can kind of
it was cool to watch him really adjust.
I've been going down a dark hole. Like originally I was like, okay, I want to do a fight stick, and I got a fight stick, didn't like the fight stick, and then now I'm looking at leverless fight sticks. Well, not sticks, but like just all buttons. And I have one on my computer that I'm just like going back and forth on, like pulling the trigger, because turns out that the fight sticks, there's like two that are licensed by Sony that will actually work just plug and play with a PlayStation. And it's like any game, just plug it in and it works. But they're like $400. And it's just not like, that's not the cost of what those things are. And you're locked into like a certain switch and like all this stuff. So for me, I'm looking for like just this. I have this like it's this clear acrylic thing that gives you your three buttons. So it's like back, forward, and like down, and then you have a jump. So like
space bar.
Yeah. So like you're holding it. It's like three buttons and like the fifth one on your thumb, and then you have like 8 doing it like an arc, and then you use your pointer or mid or however you want to do it for the other ones. So
that is not the usual layout. That's really interesting.
That's the usual one for that type of controller.
No, okay.
But that's what I've been researching the heck out of those and trying to figure it out. But I think I've settled on one that is compatible with PlayStation, but only PlayStation fighting games. And they have there's a literal list of like, it works with this, doesn't work with it. So this will work with Street Fighter and Tekken, but it won't work with like Dragon Ball Z or something for some reason. But it works with like Mortal Kombat and stuff. So this one is good, and it works with Tekken 7 and anything PS4. So it's like, okay, like it's compatible. It's all the right buttons and everything. I could technically use it if I randomly wanted to use it as like a first person. You could use it as just a keyboard basically.
Yeah.
But I can also pop all the things off, and then all these switches that you see around, I could put in any of those. So any feel I can customize however I want it to be, because it's essentially just a glorified keyboard with a specific layout.
Yeah.
So that's what
what you're messing with?
Mulling around.
Yeah, that's right up your alley. You like the keys.
I do. Yeah. And I already know how everything feels. And then I have just packs and packs of different gram weight, like springs. So like I could really mod that thing.
I just would never want to relearn on a different, like I'm so committed to the controller now. It's like, I don't know. That would be a lot of like relearning a lot of stuff.
Just the movement, really, that would be the thing. Because the cool thing with it is you can just keep back held, like especially for Tekken, like the whole time.
Yeah, right.
And then if you want to go forward, like you can kind of do the neutral or whatever, and
like
and
a
stuff
Guitar
and just
Hero
kind of go back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you could.
Yeah.
I think it's something you could.
I don't know. Let me know how it goes. I don't think I'm ever going to switch. Although, like, I can never play a tournament because I refuse to do any of the controller but an Xbox.
Yeah.
Or let me say this: I will not do a P. Like, I hate the PlayStation controller.
That's the only like
That's
if
the
you
only
look
one
at
you can do.
gamepads, there's that, and I think Victrix has one.
All the tournaments have to be on PS5. It makes no sense. Like, why is it not on a PC?
Yep.
Sony's paying them off.
Yeah, PlayStation is kind of like the default, which is why people have like adapters and you have to do firmware updates and things like that. If you get something that isn't licensed by Sony, that's the problem. That's why I was like,
but not at tournaments. Like, I think you got to just.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think you can do all that fancy stuff at a tournament. Like, it's not your PS5. You can.
All of them work with PS5s, but you have to have adapters and stuff. And they're like, so a lot of these sticks are like they're specifically for a tournament. So like, sure, I'm sure you could get stuff and like reprogram it and do some weird stuff on the PCB, but like there are like tournament grade, like this will work. You are allowed to do this. Like it gets kind of weird because if you use a leverless one, Capcom had to like set some rules up around like the tournament scene and things like that, because if you're pressing back and forward at the same time, that's a neutral, but then you can kind of like jump forward, jump back quicker, right?
Yeah. Right.
Same thing where if you're hitting up and like jump and duck at the same time, that they have that set as that should be neutral. But you can set it where if you're holding down, you hit up, it prioritizes the jump to make a lot of moves easier. So like they had to like squash that quickly.
Yeah.
But you can still do it in obviously online and in Tekken. So you don't do a lot of jumping in Tekken. But anyway, I went down a pretty dark hole and I went completely where I was like, I'm sold. I'm going to get this like big metal joystick thing.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I'm going to get this tiny, thin plexiglass. Like,
well, I don't know. I mean, like, you were never an arcade guy. Like, the fight sticks for the arcade people.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I was never an arcade guy.
Yep.
Actually, I lied. I played Die Hard.
I mean, I played Tekken 3 on the arcade all the time. But
yeah, not me.
I
never played any fighting games. Actually, maybe Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. Anyways, Tekken's fun.
It's piqued my interest. Yeah.
The fight stick, the leverless
pad, yeah.
Yeah. Fight pad.
I just wanted like a cheap one. Just something to
4 inches is not cheap.
Though that's what I mean. Like I'm not paying $400 for it. You can get one for like $60. What else is on our list?
You wanted to talk about Red Lobster?
Yeah, Red Lobster's closed.
Do you even like Red Lobster?
I loved Red Lobster.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't had a good experience with Red Lobster in like 10 years.
Well, me either, but I'm allergic to shrimp, so I go in knowing I'm going to have a bad experience.
I'm just talking like service. Like, I think they knew, like, you could tell it was the end.
They just didn't care. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think Red Lobster, like their butter rolls or whatever, are just infinitely better.
The cheddar biscuit.
Yeah, they're so much better than Texas Day Brazil. Like it's not even close. Like people.
Texas Day Brazil.
Texas Day Brazil has those little like cheesy ball bread.
Oh
things.
yeah, sure.
Everyone loves them, and it's just like they're
my babysitter back in the day. She used to buy the boxed version of the Red Lobster biscuits and make them, and it was awesome, dude. It was great.
My mom just did a casserole. And that's the base of it.
Ooh.
Is you literally buy those and sprinkle them in, and then it kind of like it's like it's like a chicken cobbler thing. It's so weird, but it was good.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's a lot of cheese though.
Yeah, it was a lot of cheese, but it was
good.
Tell you what, a quarter of it was only like 800 calories though. Like it was a pretty big dish. So
there you go. That's good. The best is like things that can make you full.
Oh, that definitely.
That's the bit. Yeah, exactly. So
carbs.
If it's dense, yeah. Well,
yeah. Anyway, sorry. Talking about D&D. What's on your
mind?
I
want to start with last session. Just get your initial thoughts.
Yeah.
As the DM, it's always interesting to hear like your perspective on the situation.
I don't know. I assume you, Nate, and like Jeff were talking after. Like I was leaving, you guys were
just for like
talking.
a couple of minutes. It wasn't anything crazy.
Because it was just like you were like, "Hey man, how you feeling? Are you good?" And like Nate was like, I just want to make sure you're. I'm like. Did I do something or say something that made it seem like I was like pissed off or hated?
Not by me. I didn't get that impression at all. But I mean, we were all drinking a lot more than the first session.
Yeah.
So I think there was that, and I don't want to say we got sidetracked. I think it was more we were maybe in like one area longer than you would normally expect.
Yeah, it was hours. It was. I mean,
we didn't get very far. From my perspective, I think it was a lot of role playing and character building, I'm like totally fine with that. That's what early sessions are all about. Like I feel much better about where we are now personally than I did after session 1.
And that makes me happy. I think that I was worried about is notes from session 1 were like, hey, when we went to the house or we're doing this investigation, we didn't really know what to do, and it just seemed to like stall. Yeah. And I'm like, well, when you guys were in this part, this is 3 times longer than that. So in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, these guys are not enjoying this. But you guys kept talking and you were interacting and role playing and stuff like that with each other. So I'm like, are you just doing that because of boredom or because you're actually investing, you're just doing stuff and we're losing track of the time, and like that's fine. So like as long as you guys are having fun, and I truly mean this, that's all I care about. Yeah, I had plenty of other stuff planned out and whatnot, and I was giving like different like, hey, you could go here, oh, you could go here. Oh, like I'm trying to give you options that are all valid, and you can kind of pick and choose which ones you want. But like I'll be honest, like one of the main things from the first session, which is like kind of what you need to be doing, and the major thing, it wasn't talked about once in the second session. Yeah. So it's okay, I got to massage maybe some of those points back in.
That might have been bad. Well, here's the problem. So to be a little bit more in depth about what specifically that was. So I'm assuming you're talking about the blue liquid.
No, that's all made up. So,
okay. What was the main?
Technically, that's part of it.
Okay,
but
investigating that thread,
and like how like there was a name that popped up and different things like that. Like that quote unquote villain's name wasn't spoken once.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I mean, we started the session. First of all, one of our players isn't able to make he's only able to make it half the time. So there's a mechanic that Tyler built into it where he is from the past, essentially connected to like an object that I have, and we start with him getting sucked into because he appeared out of nowhere and now he's gone out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So just from my character's perspective, that's like my focus.
Yeah.
Initially, which I know metagaming could have probably went a different way, but like in character, I'm like, okay, this is huge.
Big deal. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I can do a better job with that. I don't know, dude. Like I said, I was having a good time just role playing and developing. Like I'm trying to feel out my character.
Yeah.
I'm trying to ingratiate myself with the party. Like those are my major steps right now because I felt very disconnected. Not super disconnected, but I know that we tried to come up with backstories that we all know each other. We're all close. I feel like it's hard to do that and really care about that because it's just words saying like, oh, we're close now. It's like I like a more genuine approach to that in terms of like we actually play and we actually are experiencing things together in real life and in the game, because I think that just creates a tighter bond. So that's where I'm trying to come from. Like I'm trying to talk to different people and trying to get close that way and figure out like my character and like what he's about as well. Like, so I don't know. I don't want it to be misconstrued as like, oh, I was bored. So it's just, I think it was lively and engaging because we were really digging into that aspect of the game.
Yeah. And if that's totally fine. Like my whole thing is like, I introduced a lot of NPCs, but I didn't want any of them to be like, let me go with you or let me be in your party or let me do like different things to like kind of force you certain ways.
Yeah.
But I also want it to feel like you can kind of talk to people or it's somewhat lived in, breathed in, and different things like that. But like Nate and Dwayne have their kind of just backstory, random story that they're trying to do, which has no bearing whatsoever on the book, like at all.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, well, we got to like work that in somehow and kind of make it like into something that makes sense while still weaving in other themes of the book and stuff. And that's a challenge and that's good. But my whole thing is like a lot of that stuff you can't really prep for. Like generally you can, but like also a lot of that stuff's off the cuff if it's not like in the book or the story that I was originally saying. So it's one of those things where it's like if you guys are asking questions or you take the conversation with an NPC in a different way, it's like, oh, all right, well, here, let's follow this thread. And I think that was a lot of... Go ahead.
Talking about like their whole operation that they're doing?
Yeah, they have like a
smuggling,
alcohol, and it's not even a smuggling because it's like you can drink openly in the towns or whatever. But it's like they're like they're just.
I was under the impression that it was like smuggling, but I guess it's like totally over
it's really
the table.
Not. Yeah, it's like I mean maybe it's political or maybe like people that like maybe like the big alcohol industry would like try to like have them have an accident type of thing. But like, no, it's you can do whatever you want. Like, it's fine.
I missed a lot of that because I was like, so I guess that's another thing where it's like, I think there were a lot of side conversations going on.
That's tough. Yeah.
That's tough. I tried personally to remove myself from the current conversation to engage in that. But I know it's tough for you as well because you don't know what's talked about then. And it's like, you can't really incorporate it. But again, from my perspective, it's like, okay, well, I'm just really trying to character build. I'm trying to establish relationships. And that's really kind of the main idea.
And I think all that's fine. And if you guys want to have side conversations or something, I don't have to hear everything, but
just get a main idea.
I would say either give me the main idea or like there's a diary channel in Discord for people to put their own thing in. Like I think that's important. Nate asked for that. I think ironically enough, Harbin's the only one to put anything in there. So it's just, which I don't care, but it's like any type of information that I can prepare for. And like, if we didn't get to maybe the point that I was expecting, great. And like I said, that's just either less I have to worry about next week, or even better, that's just more I can strengthen the details and figure out exactly what I'm going to, like how I'm going to describe something, or like get the characters' voices down and stuff and whatnot. It's funny because I hate doing female voices for obvious reasons. And that's like most of the characters early on. So it's like either I got to change genders or I got to
get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. Which
I think you've been doing fine.
In turn is like I got to drink more and then I don't care, but also then that screws me whenever I'm watching my child. So
that's a fair point.
Dude, I can't drink anymore. I feel so bad the next day. Like so bad.
Dang.
Don't know why.
Well, like we were doing shots and...
Well, I wasn't.
You did one.
Oh, yeah, I did that in the coffee. Yeah. Okay, well, that actually maybe explains a little bit of it. But like shots and stuff typically don't kill me. It's beer. It's specifically beer now that just really wrecks me, yeah.
Huh.
Like I did this 1 Miller Lite. I'm sure I'm going to be miserable tomorrow.
That's crazy.
I know.
One?
I know. We had 2 with Jeff last week. And
you had a big one at Permanis.
I had 2 big ones at Permanis.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was fine the next day, so I don't understand it.
Maybe it was the shot that kept you alive.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
Whatever. But
all right, so...
No, look, as long as you're truly having fun, then I
mean, look, that's just me.
Good.
Maybe other people aren't. I am having fun. I had fun.
Yeah.
And I hope I didn't lessen anyone else's experience, but I think I was saying what I was trying to do. My
Yeah. I actually think that the next session will be a little bit more, well, I don't want to spoil anything. I think next session will be good. I think people will enjoy it, and I think that we're going to move it along a little bit.
Yeah.
Just out of the whole thing of like, you guys are in the middle of the wilderness right now.
Right,
so
so we're going to have to pick it up.
So I think that's going to be interesting. And yeah, I don't know. Look, as long as people would tell me, I think that's the thing that I'm most worried about is like every session is just, we're done. It's like, do people like that? Is that good? Like, are they just not going to say anything to me?
The DM thing.
Well, that's my biggest issue. So like Nate texts me, he's like, hey, I appreciate you, whatever. And it's like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to make, he's saying all these nice things. And then in the back of my mind is like, did I screw up? Are other people talking? And he's just trying to like balance it out or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah. So that's just my own insecurities.
Look, I will definitely try to be vocal if there's something amiss from my perspective. And I didn't see that.
It is really not the group's tone is very different than what I was expecting. Like it's very tough to adjust like the people like around. So like for instance, I feel really bad for Jeff of like he's showing off his like medallion to everybody.
Yeah.
And like in the setting, in the characters and things like that, like no one cares of him doing that.
Yeah.
But I don't want, like above table, I don't want him to feel that I'm just like brushing off, or I don't think that it's as like important or something like that, because he will eventually. I don't want him to, I guess my thing is like, I don't want him to stop doing that, because when he does it to the right person, that's going to mean something, and it's actually going to like be really cool.
Yeah.
It's just he hasn't found that right person yet. So
no, I think he understands that.
Yeah.
I think Jeff's a pretty understanding guy.
I hope so, because his characters are just so far I've kicked them in the face and I've ignored them and I've stabbed
That's the
them
tone
and
of the
stuff.
campaign,
Yeah.
right? You're supposed to be down and out.
Well, that's the whole thing is like everyone is purely just based off survival and gruff,
Yep.
and it's very tough to go from that to like goblins parading around as dwarves and a suicidal halfling and it's just like it's just a balance that we're still I think trying to find, but I think that either something's going to happen and you guys are going to get real serious real quick and that'll just automatically change, or the overall tone of the story will change and maybe it isn't as harsh as we all think, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's only session 2.
No, exactly. It's very early.
Yeah. How about actually never mind, I can't even say that because we didn't get to it, so forget it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, how did you like it? And it's like no, didn't get there.
Did you have the notes in the thing yet, or is that
I didn't put it in yet.
okay.
I need
that would
to
be
do
this
that.
weekend?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I need a recap on what happened.
Yeah, well, I gotta sit down and actually like really think, dude. That's the worst thing about kind of what we're doing with shifts and the kid and being up and
right.
down. Like there are just times now I sit down, I'm like, okay, I have to do this, and my mind is like, I'm not gonna let you. Like just period. Like you don't have it. It's not even like tired because I can go upstairs, lay on my bed, and I won't like fall asleep. I'll just like watch YouTube or scroll through or something, but I just need to like completely shut my brain off where like my brain literally will not like it is impossible to focus enough to like recall anything and write anything or do anything. It's wild, which isn't that usually doesn't happen to me. Like if I'm like, oh, I have to do something, I'll sit down and I'll like knock it out. Even playing a video game, I'm just like, nope, not tonight. Like I wanted to play Cycle Blade for like every night this week, and like last night was the first night that I was like, okay, I'm forcing myself to do it. But like, man, it's such a weird feeling.
Who knew having a kid was a lot of bandwidth?
I mean, everybody, but yeah, it's just I don't know. But got the bassinet down here. We just got a new mattress, which I think is coming tomorrow. So like, she'll really fall asleep in there. This one's kind of hard, so she's not loving it. But we got a couple hours playing Battlefront and stuff. So that's why I want to like. I think Lethal Company is going to be a really good one, where I can kind of babysit and not babysit. I don't know. What was it? Watch my child, be a father.
Yeah, be a
just
father.
normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, go. That's good. Yeah, as long as you're having fun, that's all I care
No,
about.
having fun.
I love it how the first session I came with like notebooks and pads, and I have sticky notes, and I brought just all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I just used like the laptop, and then like this week I was like, okay, I'm gonna even pare it back even more, and I still didn't even use it. So I'm just like, dude, I just need to bring my laptop.
Yeah, I think you're good with the laptop,
Yeah.
dude.
I like the DM screen to give me some sort of kind of barrier.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
No, I think
Pretty
it's good
straightforward.
strategy. I think you got a good setup, but again, it's session 2, right? Like
Yeah.
we're still feeling it out. I think it takes like 5 sessions to get into a groove.
the book sucks, man. I maybe I'll be wrong and it'll show up these different things, but like anything cool we've done so far has not been from the book, and any storylines or things that you guys are going with has not been from the book. So it's like, I guess from a setting that could work, but like the more I think about it, the more it's like I could probably come up with like something a little bit more homebrewed, and it would have been a little bit like still in the same vein, but it would have been more personal, and I would be able to recall things or make things up a lot more easily than being worried about like, okay, well, I want to make all this stuff up, but what happens if it clashes with the book when I get to a certain spot and then I have to like rewrite that kind of stuff. But like, I would say maybe we've used the book maybe like short of like the town names and like we use maps, but like beyond that, it's just made up stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
dude,
gotta
I have the
figure it
same
out.
experience. Like I always say, the best stuff never comes from the book.
Yeah.
It's just a structure. It's just something that I can use quick. Like I'm not good at the maps and the history of this and blah blah blah. So having that established setting where I can just reference something to give them an answer or describe something, like I think the book does a good job of like a description of a city that would be better than what I can do. I'm very bad at describing things. That's something I really liked about Jeff's is he was very descriptive about like what someone was wearing or like how they acted or sounded or whatever. So yeah, no, I just use it as a framework. That's all.
Yeah.
I've changed so much in the game I'm running where it's like I mean, the basic idea is the same of the story, but the details are all totally different.
I really need to put that board to use and just put like here are the milestones, so to speak.
Right.
What do I want to change, and then just kind of like go from there. And then whenever you come over, I'll just throw like a big like sheet up or something.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good idea though. Yeah, just hitting those big moments.
I have some cool stuff. I honestly, like, again, in my mind, it's like I have like 5 or 6 cool things that are all going to happen next session, but I can't rely on it. So it's it might be like one.
Just got to keep it loose.
We'll see.
Got to keep it loose. Yeah. Cool.
Anyway. All right. Yeah. D&D. It's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I want to do Lethal Company. I might even try to see if people want to play it. You want to try that tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing for Memorial Day? It's a nice long weekend.
I'm not doing anything Memorial Day. Tomorrow I have D&D.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you're all prepped from last week, so you should be.
I spent the whole week prepping. Like I said, we're getting to a big city, and there are 10 side quests, 25 notable NPCs, 1,000 years of history. It's not that long. I think it's like maybe like 20 pages.
That's crazy.
15 pages, something like that. It's really cool though. So essentially, this is like the dark dwarves city. You know, the dwarves in the Underdark.
Dweger?
Yeah. Apparently, there's 2 types of dwarves. So the Darrow and the Dwergar, or however you pronounce it, are both dwarf variants, but they have like a very split history. Like the Dwegar are like pretty much just dark dwarves. The Darrow are like corrupted, crazy dwarves that live in the Underdark. So anyways, they both live there. They have really bad blood, so like the Darrow are like subjected to slums and stuff like that. Pretty typical. But the whole city is like very focused around like smithing and crafting weapons and stuff. Yeah. So there's like forges everywhere, and that's like their main industry, and they take pride in that. That's pretty much their entire culture. And so there's this red dragon that walks around, and he literally just lights the forge and everything.
Okay.
And he's like, essentially there's this group of people who are pretty powerful that kind of tend to him and care for him. They're like the flame speakers, and they just make sure that he is just chilling doing that.
Yeah.
And they make him feel like he's like the big cheese or whatever. So before he gets too old and too powerful, they kill him and hatch a new egg and keep that cycle going. So anyways, like there's a lot of interesting, like it's very unique, interesting history there.
Yeah.
So like one of the side quests, for example, is they are coming up on this new cycle to get a new dragon, but one of the other factions stole the dragon egg.
Okay.
So now like the characters have the choice to like, which side do you want to choose kind of thing. There's an option where they can side with the dragon.
Yeah. Just like
tell him what's going on. So I'm like playing with those ideas and seeing like the implications of what they do. Like how is this going to affect the world? Like that's a challenging part for me at this point where it's like, okay, like I really want it to feel lived in.
Mm-hmm.
Where like later on in the story, they will be coming back to the Underdark. So the choices that they're making all these towns or whatever, I want that to be reflected.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the tough part. But yeah, I just like, dude, I have so many notes of just like trying to keep track of who's who and like what's going on. And I'm sure I'm not going to need like 90% of it.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that's been my week. And that'll happen tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes.
That was one of the things, like as I'm role playing NPCs and I'm trying to like, okay, like what would they say in a certain moment and different things. I get caught up in the moment and I say what I think that they would say. But then whenever I'm like looking at my notes and my story and stuff, I'm like, I just cost myself like 3 hours of you guys. And I'll say this, but like role play it how you're supposed to role play it. But when the sheriff came up, it was just like, all right, like he kind of like investigating a little bit, and he's just like, all right, well, don't leave town.
Yeah.
And immediately I'm like, what did you do? Why did I say that? Like,
yeah, we just left town.
I want you to leave town.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. That's the thing is like I didn't want you to think like because you just met the sheriff. And I know that I was going to see if like you guys wanted to sneak by the guards, do whatever, but like the guards don't care.
Yeah,
like, you know, it doesn't matter.
Nobody gives a crap.
So I'm glad that it didn't last too long, and I was trying to like find other ways to like leave, but I was just like, why did I do that, man? I'm such an idiot. And then I started freaking out about that. So
I did that too, whereas like they were approaching this village and there was a trap. So they escaped a prison and the drow were trying to capture them again and go into this little village was a trap. And the people were like, oh, welcome, we're expecting you. I'm like, fuck, why did I just say that, dude? Like, you're our guests of honor. And everyone's like looking at each other like, wait a minute. They snipped it out in like 2 seconds. I'm like, I'm an idiot, dude.
It's just all in the moment.
Like,
you're trying to play like 3 different people and stuff, and it's just
you're trying to play 1,000 people, dude. It's like, it's really hard, but it all works out. I think
we'll find a groove, and
oh, 100%, dude.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it. Like you said, as long as people are having fun,
it's just everyone is so like different, like just personality wise and character wise, and like what they're looking for, what they want is so different that
like,
it's like I got
people
make sure
or the character or both.
Like both.
Yeah.
Like the way that
I'm trying really
it.
hard to just be whatever I need to be.
But it's like everyone's doing their own little thing, right? Like that's the thing, and it's like I want to make sure that I'm not spending all my time like, okay, you're in your study doing your whatever. I don't want to like spend the entire time doing that.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing where it's like, okay, like Nate has a very like he wants to set up this business deal. So okay, like make sure I focus on this too. So I'm trying to keep jumping around, but I think this next session, because you guys there's less distractions. It's all like, okay, hey, do this.
Right.
That should help that part of it. But then I got to make sure that what you're all focusing on is good enough that it warrants everyone's attention.
Yeah, so. Definitely a good opportunity for a hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think it'll be good. I think we're all on the same page in terms of like we want the same things.
I think so.
Like overall, we just want to have a good time.
Everyone's at least
being engaged.
Like everyone's at least being amicable. I don't even know if that's the right word, but like, oh, you want to go visit this NPC in the wilderness? Yeah, all right, sure. Like, let's go.
Yeah,
and it's like, that normally wouldn't have been a thing. So great.
Well, yes. I think there's a vested effort in like,
yeah.
Okay. No, that makes
Which is
sense.
what you need. That's
you need that.
That's a little sacrifice, quote unquote sacrifice to. Maybe people aren't just pure selfish. Who knows? You know.
Well, it's what you said. It's all about yes and.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
Agreed. It'll be fun.
Cool.
All right.
I
think that's all we got.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, we appreciate you. Check us out, couchcompany.games. Probably need to get to some reviews on there, but we do have our ratings and everything. Did you put Unicorn on there?
Yes.
Yeah, so check us out, couchcompany.games. Got game ratings, couple reviews, our top 5s, and our podcast is on there as well.
Yeah, whatever you listen to, please rate us. We actually got
any platform.
Got a decent number on Spotify and YouTube. So.
Nice. Yeah, no, we appreciate that. So we're going to be here, same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining us on the couch. Peace.